with this. I'm just going to grab Gavin on side control first of all. And doesn't matter if side control. If everyone just jumps on this side, it's easier to see what I'm going to do. All right, no, you stay there, Gavin. Okay. So first things first, we're going to start with our frames on the inside position. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that when I'm here, I find it really hard to sometimes push with my frame that's on the hip on the inside because my hips or my wrist is compressed to my chest and it's quite tight here. Secondly, I normally have the crossface and pressure, so this is quite hard to move. So I find it's really hard to get extension. So first thing I do is I try to create space. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left leg, which will be the leg opposite from Gavin, take that away. Now this is the part that I see a lot of people misunderstand. This is, I now frame because I'm underneath and because I've got my right side exposed high, where if I'm flat, I'm kind of pushing it long. So I take my leg and I kind of get micro back exposure, so I've turned and I frame. So now what I'm doing is I drag my butt, lift my elbow and bring my knee through. So it's a combination of a couple of things. So first of all is my right frame system's caught on the inside and I'm having a lot of trouble pushing my partner, right? Specifically when they have a lot of pressure here. So what I'm going to do from here is, what I do is as I start to move, so I can't push it, is I turn my knees and I slide and I put pressure. So if Gavin tries to come in now, my frame system's quite strong. I keep it at 90 degrees. Secondly, this is the hardest part, is I slide my hips, elbow goes high, and bring my knee through. Right. So this is the first part of the recovery system, and I want to be able to make sure that I can overhook the arm to start to go for arm bars and control. And again. So your right frame onto the hip, and I can't get any tension or pressure on it yet. So what I'm going to do from here is my left leg steps out. As I do that, I'm going to go back exposure. So what I see is they normally go like they turn this way, which compresses everything, gives them a lot more power, a lot more space to me. So I'm going to go the opposite, and this is the hardest part because people feel that they can take the back. But what I'm doing is I'm creating the distance between Gavin's right knee and my hips, so it's harder for him to upgrade to knee ride, mount, and get back exposure. So what I mean by that is, if I just turn here, right, the distance he has to travel is quite small. But if I go here, the distance is quite large. And he'll already create the space for me by lifting up. Drag, knee comes through, and this would be the ability to start to go like a mirror lock, or kimura, or armbar. One more time. So the essence is, I'm going to go walk away. So walk, frame, elbow, slide, turn, knee, recover. Most people kind of go, my arm's in danger, as they recover the arm, push, and you have the ability to come back inside at least some kind of guard. I do like to now attack the collar. So they'll generally kind of go, I'm in a choke, which means I was hard to defend the choke, and they'll set up the sweep to be able to start to come over. So, you know, we've got a whole combination there to be able to do for the person on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. So Gavin's on side control. And this is one of the things that when we're doing BJJ, I don't particularly, I don't agree with how we teach some stuff. But at the moment, it serves a purpose because there isn't a better way. So I'll explain. Number 1, back exposure, frame system, elbow to create space before I turn, because otherwise I can't turn, my knee comes through. So right now, I'm working on the assumption that my partner, Gavin, isn't going to move. He's not going to move, he's going to stay here and he's going to let me rescue my guard and all that, which is a really shit assumption because he's not going to do that. So what Gavin's going to do from here is he's going to slowly drop his right hip to the ground. Boom. Now, he's going to shoot the underhook and he's going to go like this. This is the hardest part, is he's going to take his right, on this arm, he's going to take his right hip over my knee line. So he's going to slide, of course it compress, slides and gets to a better side control. So this is the issue that I have with rescuing the guard the way that we did it. The person's actually savvy, knows what's going on. Well here, I've given up that underhook from here. So what Gavin should do from here is immediately start to attack the kimura. So he uses the hand to push my wrist down and start to attack. So even if I don't get the Kimura, I rescue, and we're in the horrible position. So this will almost be where we started last week. We're in the heavy cross face. We can go to all the chokes and all that kind of stuff. So one more time. So all we're going to do is we're going to add on, just from here, we're going to get to practice the maneuver once again. So frame system, back exposure, create space, lift, ball mat. As I'm doing this, Gav just goes, no, drop. He needs to unhook. Right, so he's going to shoot to make sure he has that unhook. Keeps his hips low, so he's going to slide over from here. Hits the Kimura. So, you know, for drilling, this is a really good drill for both people to get done, because it doesn't assume that my partner's is going to say, oh, look, it's rescue and guard. Good job, yeah, I'll let you get your guard back, yay. Okay, change partners, 1, 2, 3. Yep, pick it up as well.
Just go for that.
What, you don't want to go to Keza, you want to just pick my arm up. So from here, just scoop the tricep. Now slide your leg deeper underneath it. Yeah, so now you're in a high, now you've got more of that.
If I go over Keza, you go.
Yeah, I'm going to walk it out, yep.
My back as well.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, I'll explain why, not necessarily right now, but I'm not a fan of this, but it has a purpose. And the theory behind it is that if you're under side control and you can't hip escape, if you can't rescue the guard, it's going to be a long day, you know, it's a long day on the mats and all that, and you're better off trying something and failing than not doing anything at all and just losing. So, you know, there's kind of like, you know, like it's, well, they say, you know, I'd rather go out in a battle than, you know, the whole thing like laying under there, hey, you know, at least you didn't get mounted, at least you didn't get submitted, but you lost the fight. It doesn't matter how you lost the fight, at least try to do something to get the fight done. Okay, Gavin, side control again, please. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of this, but I do this if I'm caught in a really bad spot, you know, and I'm having trouble getting out, and they've got really heavy side control, and I've got to get something going, okay? So first things first, and this sounds really crazy, is I'm going to start to do exactly the same thing, so I'll frame, but, you know, like I'm having trouble, I'm going to shoot my hand, I'm going to grab my hand to the inside. So what I'm doing is, my hand's coming to the inside of his ski pants, on the leg closest to my legs. My hand is going to the leg. I'm not putting my hands in on the inside. I'm not trying to come underneath it. I'm just trying to get the gi pads. Right, so from here on Gav's leg. So I'm trying to grab this here. I'm not trying to go underneath. I'm just trying to get a chunk with this hand. So it will be this hand here, and I'll be lying down, and he'll be on side control. Right. And I want to the end of the lever, not the knee. This is it, guys. I'm gonna bridge. This is what we'll be waiting for. The bridge. Holy shit, it's gonna happen. Okay, so number one, turn my head into my partner, bring my feet in. I'm gonna bridge, no lift, I'm gonna catch the leg.
I'm pushing it.
Yep, just gonna catch the leg. The knee, it's really hard to get the knee line, but I'm crossing over. I don't have it like this. I'll explain why, because we're going to rip this apart in a second. So I'm going to try and just capture with an X on it. And now, what I like to do is I like to hold the knee and start to bring my knee up. And this is called deep half. Hand goes behind, and we can now start to rock and roll. Fast sweeps, etc., etc. So let's just get to this position first, and then we're going to have a look at it. Okay, so side control again, and real heavy, you know, like I'm having trouble moving. So I do the same thing, is I frame, walk away, bridge, and put my hand to the inside. It doesn't work so on the outside. Now, I'm not pausing. Well, I've got the space, feet come in. And I'll throw my partner over, and I'll lift the leg high. I capture that leg. Don't capture that leg. Capture that leg first. So I'm behind it. Leg comes over. And they'll generally go for the underhook on this arm. So just make sure that your underhooks are nice and deep. And now the underhook, same deal again, guys. Just take your sweep. Because that's their post system. So if they go the underhook, they can't post. So it's a little bit different to what we normally do. Like it's a bridge. I'm not a huge fan of bridging. It's like one of those things where I don't really have a choice. Ian, come in. Yeah, Ian's on top of side control. You're over here, buddy. And so, just explain, we're exactly the same thing where we're here, we're caught. So I frame, I run DMC, walk this way, bop, bop, frame, from here my hand shoots through to grab the inside. In one motion, feet, elbow, bridge, tap the leg, hold it. Starts with you. Sweet. Change partners, 1, 2, 3. This way. Okay, so Emma's on side. Frame system, nice and slow. Turn back exposure, micro back exposure. Frame, hand comes underneath. Okay, now what I'm going to do is this is I'm pulling forward to take my partner over my head to make the knees light. So I'm kind of pulling forward. Does that make sense? The downfall is Emma does get access to the underhook with her right arm, not her left arm. So as I capture from here, Emma's going to slide her knee to her right hand side. Now, the key is this. I might get this. I might. The key is this. Do not lose the underhook. You've got to keep the elbow position, right? You have to keep the elbow position. This is the hardest part about it. Post on your right hand, take your left leg over, put your toes inside my hips. Yep. Kick. Doesn't matter if I roll now, because you're in a triangle. You've got my arm. But take the mount position. And again. So this one here. Right, you know which way I'm going to roll, so just keep your post on that side. I see people scoop the underhook, which is how we get the sweep, because I take the post out by scooping the underhook. You just want to make sure I can't retract the elbow. You don't have to scoop it. The more that you scoop it, the more you become a cylinder, the more that you roll. So you just want to make sure I can't retract the elbow. It's not the end of the world if I do, but it's better. So we start in a position once again where we're here, my frame's on the inside. My goal, take Emma's weight off her knees, so I bridge as high as I can, forward, capture the leg from here. So Emma just makes sure her right elbow goes on the ground. Yep, that's it, so I'm flat. As I turn to roll, Emma just, crosses over from here. Consolidate, drop your hips down, squeeze your knees. And now, what I like to do is, from here, think about straight. Arm crawl, your right hand up, 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 up. So now, just keep the pressure. Kimura, arm bar, head on, choke, whatever you want to do. You don't actually even have to do anything. This is horrible. So you could just, mother's milk. Wife's milk, whatever you want to call it. But you've got to kick. The instant that you raise the elbow up, I'm going to rescue. You have to keep that elbow pinned, my elbow pinned. So what I said was, when they start walking, they walk over my head and they allow that to come out. You're walking out, so squeezing it in. Yeah, so wife's milk, mother's milk, etc., etc. You know, if they're going to bridge, so as I bridge, you just go higher. Pop, now we play the game. Cool. So when they bridge, your job is to actually cook them a little bit more, go higher, go higher, go higher. The concept is you've got to keep that elbow, my elbow pinned, so I can't retract that elbow. That's the whole key, and just cook them. Okay, Ian, come in. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Just to shortcut the coaching, I'm going to put my right hand through on the inside of the leg. I'm already here. Okay, so Steve's got the pressure. As I bring my feet in from here, he understands we're going to bridge. He reads the play, so he's got this here. So what's going to happen is, as I bridge him up and capitalise by bringing his right leg in between my legs, Steve's going to take his right knee and just his right knee, pop his right knee to his left side once I capture it. Slow motion. Bridge. Forward, forward, forward. Capture. And as I capture, I take his right knee to the left-hand side. Now, this is the part. If you keep your head high, I'm going to roll you over. So your job is this. You're going to try and put your head as low as you can. Take your left hand out as wide as you can. We're now going to play soccer. So you're now going to get that foot, it's going to kick my top knee backwards. So that is just going to physically kick to pass the guard. This is a far better system, but it only works if you've read the play. Right, okay, it's the same deal again. It's exactly the same, so I've caught the leg, and it feels me, guys, I can't really do too much else. So as I bridge, I'm like, yeah, wicked, I capture the leg, and as I capture, it's turn. But I'm gonna try and keep my leg, this is actually really hard for me to keep the knee squeeze, anyway, on the leg. So it's generally like I just catch like the toes and the ankle. So the reason we're going this way is, yeah, Steve could actually just physically pop his leg out because the angle's better for you. But you know, you're going to get what we call a Tegan squeeze. Tegan is, well, we'll leave that alone. So they're going to have these massive legs, they're just going to squeeze the shit out of it, and they're going to frame. So they're going to be here. So take your hand out, and make me flat, so that keeps me turned. Okay, kick, 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 bomb. Now, pick up my arms straight away, turn me back flat. Turn me flat. Right, we're in the same position again, so I'm going to go like this. Frame, back exposure, up, boom, try and turn, and because I can't catch your leg, just drop your right hip down, and you can keep me now under side control. It's only when I get my hand through that we have to deal with it. So one more time. Right hand through, on the leg, read the play, so now I'm going to bridge. Feet come in, bridge, bob, 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 feed the leg, and I've got that. So this is that part where you say sometimes it's hard till I see your left leg over, like if I go here. So instead of this, just take your right knee to your left hand side. Now, you've got to kill this. So you've got to go flat, have your left hand. So that, see how it turns me down for what? Yep, so now I'm going to try and move out backwards. You start to kick, make sure you have the underhook, pick up my arm so I can't take you back. Here we are, back in the game. 1, 2, 3. Counterintuitive. Counterintuitive, which means that you're doing the right thing, but it's wrong. Michael, quarter guard. So I've caught your leg, quarter guard, you got to unhook, okay, post that wide, okay, and now it turns to kick. Anytime that you lift your head up, roll you over.
Right.
Anytime you lift your head up, and I don't even have to actually put it jiu-jitsu, because you're going to grab your head. Right, so that's 2 points for me to sweep. Right, so this is what I'm saying to you guys. Hand, 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 shove your head here, like so that's keep me flat. So they're going to be, the issue now is this. So as I'm pushing, I'm by default pushing myself on my back. Keep your head low in front of their face. Slowly, left leg, kick. Kick the top leg, not the bottom leg. Because it's the top leg holding you. Kick the top leg. Got it. Okay. Head in front of their face. And as flat and low as you can. I like to actually start to drive my head into their head. Because that will almost put them flat on the back and your leg will almost physically just pop out. You won't even have to kick. So put the back of your head in front of their head and just be nasty, man. At the end of the day, it's your foot. You own it. They have possession of it. Take it back. So again, quarter guard. You have the underhook. Okay, so I like the stop. Back of the head. And now drive. That's almost kind of, yeah.
You got their head in front of your head.
Yeah, I want my bald spot on their nose. 1, 2, 3. I have a pretty big bald spot. We're working on, so the thing that we did last week was we had to look at the heavy side control, crossface side control. We had to look setting up the paper cutter, choke in the elbow. The week before was dealing with mount, going to mount, getting to mount position. So what we're doing today is we're going to have a look at the interim, which is the quarter guard. And when we're upgrading, getting caught in the quarter guard position, which is kind of like your knees free, but they've caught somewhere between your ankle and your knee, so the quarter guard. So this is possibly one of the most common counters when people go to mount. They can't do a lot with it if they don't know how to use it, but it can be really annoying. The worst thing about it is that you've done all that work to get to mount. If you do get caught in the quarter guard and you do roll over, they're going to get 2 points for the sweep. So, because you're in the guard. So we kind of want to make sure that we're not giving up the top position, that we're still staying in a relatively good position on top. Okay, Gavin, start on cycle trot, please. 40 years old. Let's see how you go. Okay, so from here, one of the things that we want to deal with is the space. So if Gavin's right knee is attached to my body, this makes it very hard for me to rescue my guard. One of the common things is that people are going to bridge and deal with it. We're going to deal with this in a second. So what we're going to do from here is the person on the bottom, you're going to utilise your right frame. Right now, because my right frame is crushed against my body, this is quite hard to use. So I'm going to give what I call partial back exposure. I'm going to use my left frame as a space creator. So how do I start to turn my hips away from here, and as I'm walking, I start to extend my right arm to create space, left arm goes up, and I have the ability to start to rescue guard. So this is a far better way of recovering your guard from the side control than trying to bridge. So one more time. So the issue that we have normally is that Gavin's right knee, so if I try and bridge and pull in, there's no space. So even if my right elbow is locked in, I can't really push because I can't get any momentum to push away. And my left elbow, even if I lift up from here, he's got the ability to just upgrade to knee right or whatever like that because I haven't created space. So the theory behind it is if Gavin goes to knee right now, he's got to move like, 30 or 40 centimeters to get to knee right. So I want to increase that space. So what I'm doing is as I'm starting to turn away, I frame, so I'm pushing and I'm pushing from here. So now the space for Gav to upgrade to knee right is greater. Secondly is, I know he's going to pop generally. If he doesn't, I'm doing something is my elbow raises. As my elbow raises, that allows my knees to come through to rescue. Frame off your top hand, recover your bottom hand, and we can start to go to a form of guard. Right, so this is just a nice, easy guard recovery from here. If they do hold on to your gear, you've got arm bars from here. So like if you do recover and they've got a good grip, you've got the ability to go to arm bars, Kimura locks, leg over the top, etc. It's not, it's more of a Disneyland move because most people are going to acknowledge that the arm's in danger and they're going to pull it out. Okay, so from here again, warm-up class, guys, is number one, lock it, turn away. As soon as I get a little bit of space, raise my elbow, push, my knees turn. Don't come this way because there's no space. My knees turn. Come under, pull your hand, kick off your shin, create space, and look for your guard recovery from here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so once again, space. The issue is normally space has a two-way streak. So Mel's got me held in position once again. So I've framed from here, walk my hips away, and as I start to turn, the space between Mel's right knee and my hip is what allows me to get my knee through. So what Mel's going to do, she's going to pull her right hand across my body and go underneath my hip. So as I try to recover guard, she's got the ability to keep me turned backside. Okay, so regardless of my front frame, if my hips are turned the opposite way, this is better for my partner. So this is the timing, so she's got the good pressure on me. I feel pretty compromised from here. So I have partial back exposure, frame, and as I create space, as I turn, the arm comes under. Now this is the job, is your elbow this side starts to flare, so so that starts to turn me back over, so I now have back exposure. So I don't want you guys to put your hand under. What you're doing is to turn my head, right? All you do is lift your elbow up and that starts to turn my head. So once we get this position, so as I'm here, she flares both elbows, back exposure from here. And now what we're going to do, we're going to pop up. So we're going to leave our right hand where it is. So our left hand where it is in our right hand. We're going to slide your right knee between your elbow and my hip. So pop up to knee right from here. So it's nice and tight. The reason being is that if you transfer your right hand over on the knee right now, I've got the ability to start to push you. Where if you have the frame system here, this is still quite a solid ability for you to hold. When you're ready, this sounds really weird, you're going to slide your knee to the ground, not your foot. So your right knee slides to the ground, just your right knee. So drive your over top of me, so mount, slide, so here, and your right arm picks up my elbow now to clear the platform. So you don't have to pick it up as far as lift it up, but you want to have the ability to get your knee under my armpit to get a really high mount. So that's where we want to go. Of course, this is compromised. When you go to mount, don't create space, because I'll be able to frame up against you. You want to be nice and flat. So the system, once again, is from here. I do everything right because I'm really good at this shit, okay? So from here, as I start to turn away, backside blocks it out nice and cruisy. As I try and bridge, she flares both elbows, right knee goes across my body, clears the debris using her right hand, picks up my arm, clears, right knee goes through, and we go dead flat. So this is uber comfortable for me. I can stay here all day. So you wanna get that chest onto their face. So it's hard for me to turn my head left side and right side, so I'm kind of compromised onto one side. So this would be the upgrade onto mount. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So cruise and soft control. I'm just going to run the same system again. This is the add-on. So you guys get to practice, like practice. So once again, cruise got good pressure. I'm having a lot of trouble moving from here. So I'm going to lock my right elbow, right? And I'll make sure that as I'm turning back exposure from here, lift and go to recover. As I recover, Corey's right arm sits to the inside, and as I try to recover down, I'm having trouble. Corey flares both of his elbows to turn backside from here. So I've still got my frame system. Now, what I want you to do from here is you're going to slide your right knee across my hips. So pop your right knee onto my stomach, slide it across. Now, before you get to that, you've got to clear the debris. So this hand, what I find is don't put your hand on the ground because there's a lot of space. Put your elbow on the ground. Yes! So this makes it harder for me to move. Now, walk your hand behind my head. Yep. Put your knee on the ground and capture mount. Now, what's going to happen is that's going to be the most common thing. Because you've turned me this way, they're going to do what we call like the really stubborn squeeze. And even if you get me pinned, it's like, no. So your job from here is turn my back on the ground using this. Don't worry about your foot. So you start to walk your hand behind my head. Exactly. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so take it this way. Same deal again, guys. So we've got the knee ride. So just start on the knee ride, Corey. Yep. And what I find is if you put your hand on the ground, I've got this space to be able to move you. So instead, we put our elbow on the ground. So this makes it not impossible, but harder to move you. You walk your hand underneath my head. So your right hand walks, that clears the debris. As you step to mount, one thing that's going to happen is, go to mount, you're cool. One thing is they're going to try and capture that. This is the most common and possibly one of the only escapes they're going to get, as a common escape. So your job is to keep my back on the ground. Think about it this way. Just keep walking your hand behind that, and that's going to turn back down. Now, whatever you do, keep your left hand out wide. So your left hand, sorry, Corey, missed your hair.
That's right.
Out wide. The hardest part is this now. Keep your weight on me. Take your weight off your feet. Take your left foot on the inside of my legs where your right foot is. So over the top of my leg. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So now, two things are going to happen. I'm going to bridge and they're going to bounce through because my chest is pinned. Or you're going to slowly start to flare your feet. And as you start kicking like a frog kick, drive your knees to the ground, pass over the guards to take your feet out. And now, exit both feet. Put your feet behind my hips so I can't recover. What I see people do is they take their feet out and it allows me to go, okay, now I'll capture it again. So you've got, as soon as you get through, your heels have to come under. So as I'm trying to pick up your legs, you've got this good pressure on me and it's very hard for me to recover. So just start on to the knee ride again, Corey, that was awesome. So knee ride from here, and remember, elbow on the ground from here, walk your hand behind my head, turn down for what? Go to mount, and I'm like, yeah, wicked, safe. You've got to get me on my back. So this hand keeps walking. Make sure you've got a post, so keep that hand out nice and wide. Frog kick. So now, just frog kick, and I'm going to bridge. As I bridge, bounce through forwards, up, feet under. Got it. And now you can start to cook your partner. This is what we call a shit position to be in. If you find yourself in, you messed up really badly. Okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go. And we're going to be in the quarter guard. So from here, so we're going to start in the quarter guard, and that's half guard.
Half.
Yeah.
Which way? This way?
Okay. Okay. So one of the things that happens is, well, there's two things that happen. Number one is that the person's got a really good bite, and even if you go to the vegan, right, you're having trouble getting your other foot in because I'm on my side. The second thing is anytime I have the ability to get the top position, I can start to roll you and get my 2 points. So you do want to make sure on this one here, because I'm on my side, you can't get me onto my back, that you have the underhook. That's really important. But if you take the underhook too far, I can start to roll you over. So just, this is that little bit of balance point. So I'm going to go something a little bit different, and it's because I'm on my side and I've got a good grip, so you can't put me on my back. This is okay, this is what I do. So Gavin's going to go, he's going to come up onto his right hand, and he's going to just put his left hand out wide. So he's going to come right up, nice and wide. You transfer your knee over my stomach to the other side of my body. Now, this is the part. Right now, I have a space to be able to attack you. So your head has to come to the other, here. Because if you put your head back where it was, I've got the ability to start to roll you over, because your head is the heaviest part of your body and you're crossed over my body. So let's just have a look at that again. So from here, you want your head here. Now, I've still got my squeeze. You want to start to drive the back of your head into my, so it straightens me out and makes my legs open a little bit. Keep your weight onto your left hand. Your left foot kicks my top knee off and power through. Now, whatever you guys do, this is the part that I see people make a mistake. As they switch through, they lift their head up, and now I'm made a frame to start to come over. You've got to keep your head low the whole time, right? Is you want to end up here, and you want to just keep nice and low. And when you're ready, pick up my arm, and now you can start to lift your head up a little bit and start to attack. Yeah. Okay. So this is all that space and head management. If your head raises and you give me a frame system, I can start to attack you. So you've got to make sure on this one here that your head is always on the side that you're passing to, not centre line or the other side. And you'll find yourself doing this because you'll try to kick your leg out and your head will by default come over. So it isn't a kick out, it's more a slide. Okay, so we're just going to start in the quarter guard again, Gav. It's 40th birthday today. Okay, so the part is this is, you don't want me to capitalise on the, and look, you know, I can do stupid shit, like I can Kimura you from underneath here and all that as well. Not that I'll do that. So, come up onto your hand, come up onto your hand. Now, this is the hardest part. Post up, switch your knee across my body. That's it. And it'll drag you. So now, be heavy, drive your head, so that's going to start to line me up. Now, post out wide, so your left hand's wide. Your left leg kicks my top knee, and stay low. Pick up my arm. Once you pick up my arm, walk around a little bit more, and now you can pop your head, because I can't roll you over. So you've got to kind of get to 90 degrees, so my elbow's out, which makes it easy for you to start to attack me. How'd that feel?
So we had that underhook, but
Yeah, you need the underhook, otherwise I'll take you back. That's okay. Okay, thank you, Gav. Ian, come here, buddy. I'll talk Ian through it. So, okay, so you're on mount.
with the half guard.
No, quarter guard, lady. Quarter.
That's probably
Yeah, so quarter guard. Now, number one thing is you want the underhook. Just remember, on the underhook is if your elbow down, I'm going to roll you over because I'm on my side. So the catalyst or the reason why we go from one to the other is I'm not on my back, I'm on my side. So Ian's going to post up on both his hands, lift his head up nice and high. Now, he's going to pop his knee up high and all the way across the body, all the way across the body. He's going to put his head here. Keep the left hand out. Now, you've got to keep your weight not centre line, you've got to drop your weight into the valley. That's the whole key. Now, when you can, use your top leg to kick my top knee off, kick and keep your head low. Now, slowly walk to 90 degrees, pick up my arm. Nice. So now you can pop your head because I'm compromised. Okay. just your head position is king on this. If you pop your head, you're going to get rolled. And like I've already mentioned, get rolled because we're in quarter guard, 2 points to them. Okay, if you get past this, it's 3 points to you because you're passing the guard. So there's a lot at play here, there's a lot at stake. You don't have to rush this, take your time. They're pretty much pinned on their back, right? So what you find sometimes is that they're going to breach anyway. If they breach, just pop your leg up. Okay, same partners, 1, 2, 3. Okay.